Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with FoneArena.com and you're watching the video review of the Gionee Elife E7. The Elife E7 is the Chinese manufacturer's first flagship device aimed at the premium high-end segment of the market. Sporting top-end specifications, it gets closer to the likes of other flagships, but offers a price advantage the others can't easily match. But even then, can a newer brand like Gionee instill confidence in the high-end consumer with the Elife E7? Let's find out in our review. The design of the Elife E7 is the antithesis of Nokia's popular Fabula design language. Here Gionee has curved the top and bottom parts of the device while keeping the sides flat, making it unique in terms of looks. The black version we have here has a subtle texture underneath the glossy back, which shows up under good light. While the unibody build of the phone adds to much of the strength and durability of this device, it is thicker and heavier than other phones, coming in at 9.2 mm of thickness and a weight of 150 grams. But we felt it is reassuring more than anything, mainly because of the distribution over the body. The front of the phone is fully covered by Gorilla Glass 3, underneath which lies the 5.5-inch 1080p display. Above the display we have the earpiece, the 8-megapixel front-facing camera and the usual couple of sensors for proximity and ambient light sensing, along with the notification LED. Below the display are the 3 capacitive buttons for home, contextual menu and back. These are backlit and offer haptic feedback but are nearly invisible otherwise. Turning to the sides, the left side houses the lone micro SIM card slot and the right side has just the single piece volume rocker. The top is occupied by the 3.5mm audio jack and the power button, which is really hard to reach on a tall device like this. The other side sports the micro USB port, the primary microphone and the loudspeakers. The back, which has a glossy finish with a graphite texture under the skin, boasts a 16-megapixel camera that slightly peeks out from the body, accompanied by a secondary microphone above and the LED flash below. Further down we have the Gionee logo and that's about it. There is no removable battery or a micro SD card slot owing to the unibody design. The Gionee Elife E7 sports a 5.5-inch IPS LCD from JDI, a Japanese display manufacturer. It displays great contrast and brightness and we feel 1080p is sharp enough on a 5.5-inch display with about 480 ppi. Sporting great viewing angles, we never felt the need to correct the orientation for washed out colors because there were none. With good outdoor visibility, the display on this is possibly one of the best we have seen so far and is suitable for all kinds of consumption. The cameras on this phone are special. The rear-facing unit is a 16-megapixel OmniVision sensor which comes at a size of 1 by 2.3 inches. This makes it one of the biggest on a smartphone and as expected, the Omni BSI-2 sensor coupled with a fast and bright f2.2 aperture Lagan M8 lens produced great results. The dynamic range, the white balance, the detail and the overall performance of the camera was really good in all the conditions we tried out. The user interface does lack the sheer number of features that you see on other devices, but its minimalism is noteworthy. The phone can record 1080p videos and they turned out really well during our tests with great audio and dynamic range. You can get a deeper look into the camera on our camera review where we detail all the aspects of the camera, the UI and its performance. While the rear-facing camera is right up there with one of the best in the market, the front-facing camera is even better. The 8-megapixel autofocus unit on the front is as good as the rear-facing cameras on some mid-range phones. If you're looking at taking a lot of selfies, then this is the phone to get. With the flagship title comes top-end specifications, which makes it the first time that Gionee is going with the Snapdragon 800 processor. The 2.2 GHz MSM8974 chipset is accompanied by the Adreno 330 GPU to provide the raw performance that you would expect from a high-end device. Ours is the 16GB variant which comes with 2GB of RAM. Be it gaming or synthetic benchmarks, the Elife E7 consistently performed well and day-to-day usage was a breeze too. Apps opened quickly, multitasking was flawless, but there is a bit of lag due to the Gionee custom launcher, which adds a bit of Gaussian blur and unnecessary animation into the mix. Recognizing this, we switched to a third-party launcher and found that to be butter smooth, indicating that this is a problem with software rather than the hardware. More on that later. On paper, the only spec bit that worried us before going into this review was the battery. The 2500 mAh unit felt small, especially when taking the big 5.5-inch screen into consideration. But it surprised us with results we never expected. We got a solid day's worth of medium to heavy usage with the screen being on for more than 6 hours. And even under heavy usage, we got more than 16 hours worth of battery life, which is pretty good. This can be further extended using the Power Manager app if you wish to, which brings us to software. The Elife E7 runs on Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, A good two versions behind the latest, and on top of it is the Amigo UI from Gionee, with its Navi launcher being the main point of interaction. It has a lot of customization and effects, but is also limited in terms of just being pages of apps. While the design is great, the performance, as mentioned earlier, even on a top-end processor, is not up to the mark, as it drops frames while moving through pages. Apart from this, the UI otherwise is very appealing in terms of design and quality. There are useful smart gestures that you can perform even when the screen is locked, and there is always the handy double tap to wake option, now making it into Gionee's phones. Some of the interesting default pre-installed apps are utilities for managing the phone, like the Power Manager app we mentioned earlier for managing power saving options. There is also the Phone Accelerate app that can quickly clean the processes and give you options for managing the boot sequence, the cache, etc. And App Manager, an app that lets you handle all your installed apps in a neater way than Android natively supports. These apps add quite a bit of utility to the phone, and the default media apps too shine in design and functionality. We found the music player to come with DTS effects, but unfortunately we didn't find either the loudspeaker or the earphones to provide the quality we expected. The gallery and video apps are loaded with features and are aesthetically very pleasant to use. There are many other third-party apps pre-installed, and there are also the Google apps, and apart from these, we have the apps like Yahoo Cricket, NQ Mobile Security, and more. Anyway, in the end, Gionee has managed to craft the Elife E7 with enough charisma and muscle to satisfy the most demanding buyer. A few quirks exist though, like the lack of a microSD card slot, a smaller battery that doesn't look good on paper, and nagging software issues that could derail the user experience. But a factor that completely supersedes these issues is the price. For Rs 26,999 for the 16GB 2GB RAM version, you get a sturdily built phone, a great display, epic cameras, great raw processor performance, and above average battery life. We just wish Gionee works more on the software part here and delivers more updates. The hardware is almost flawless, especially for the price, and hence we think it's best in class. Anyway, that's about it guys for the video review. You can check out the full review, which has even more information and images in the links below. That'll be the link to the blog, phonearena.com/blog. So you can check out the review there and let us know what you think in the comment section below. Anyway, do hit the like button if you like this video, and do hit the subscribe button if you want more videos like these. Thanks for watching again.